I think it was made pretty clear in my previous iPad video that I have many uses for this thing. When it comes to something productive like writing a video or drawing an animation, or something more relaxing like reading or taking care of my plants, I found many ways to utilize my iPad mini to make my everyday life a little bit easier. As a minimalist, I like to have tools that can be used for multiple different things. And for my everyday life, I find a lot of use in some of these apps I'm going to be talking about today. Before I get started, I'm going to say none of these apps are built-in Apple apps, so they shouldn't be limited to an iPad-only user, and they should be on app stores across the board for the most part. These are my top iPad apps. But first, and if you're new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. Here we talk about minimalism, frugal living, tech, and things of that nature. So if that sounds good to you, and you end up liking the video, be sure to like, and please surprise the subscribe button with a vacation, and then give them a plane ticket that lead to the coordinates in the description box. Let's get started. Planta. The first app on this list is an app called Planta. It's basically an app that I use to keep track of the watering and care schedule for my plants. All of my plants are on a different watering schedule and require a different amount of sunlight each. And this app just grants me a really easy way to keep track of that. And it sends me reminders if I may have missed a day on one of them. There is a paid premium version of this app that offers a lot more features, but the free version works great for me. It lets me just type in the plant that I have, a little bit of information about it in regards to where it is in the house and how much sunlight it has access to, and even keep a profile picture for it. This app was definitely made more to be used on a phone rather than a tablet. I can just tell by the aspect ratio, but it still definitely serves its purpose here on my iPad, and I highly recommend it to any plant parent. Shortform. The next app on this list is an app called Shortform. Shortform is an app that basically compresses long reads into smaller, more easily consumable lengths. It basically takes the key points out of books and cuts out all the fat and only keeps in what I would consider the relevant information. When it comes to nonfiction reading, I tend to prefer this because I actually just get really bored with nonfiction. There's a bunch of other really cool little things you can do, like highlight certain parts of the read that you want to remember for later, create your own library, and change the font size. It also shows you the progress of every book that you're reading. I like getting book recommendations from people that I watch here on YouTube, and so far I've had luck pretty much finding everything that I was looking for. So I recommend doing the free trial. Procreate. Now, this would not be a Nicholas iPad video if I didn't take a second to talk about Procreate. I'm sure everyone is at least a little bit familiar with what Procreate is, but it's basically what I would consider probably the single best app for any type of drawing or really almost anything artistic. I use this app to make the thumbnails for my videos, as well as the animations that I use. It allows you to use multiple different types of brushes and pencils, and the responsiveness really feels like you're painting or drawing. Paired with the Apple Pencil, it's really just one of my favorite ways to relax. Sometimes I'll just put my headphones in, listen to music, and sketch on here if I just want to forget about the outside world for a little bit. Kindle App. The next app on this list is the app that I use for pretty much all of my fiction reading, and that's the Kindle App. I do have the Apple Books app installed on my iPad as well, but I feel like the Kindle app has a slightly better selection, and I just like the interface a little bit more. I also wanted to mention the Kindle app over the Books app because I promised to make this video not exclusive to Apple users. The iPad mini itself, in my opinion, is like the perfect reading device because the size of it is about the size of a paperback book anyways. So this app just made perfect sense for me. It has all those cool little features like changing the font and font size. The only thing I prefer with the Apple Books app over the Kindle app is that in the Books app, when you turn the page, it has this fun little animation that makes it really satisfying to turn the page. Right now, I'm reading Fire and Blood by George R.R. Martin. I'm a huge fan of A Song of Ice and Fire, the series, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. Reading on my iPad is something I'm trying to do nightly for the last hour or so that I plan on being awake. Spotify. Spotify is pretty much a must-have app for my iPhone and my iPad. I pretty much have music on for a good portion of my day, regardless of what I'm doing. What I really love about Spotify is that I get music, podcasts, and ambient sounds as well. Ambient sounds like rain or other white noise that I like to listen to when I'm reading or just want to relax and unwind. I prefer Spotify over other music services, mostly because I like the interface the most. Genshin Impact. And before anyone judges me, just hear me out for a second. I would definitely just consider myself a casual gamer, and I absolutely appreciate the way that a video game can help me unwind. So recently, I started playing Genshin Impact on my iPad, and it offers me exactly what I want from a video game, which is immersion, a good soundtrack, and a bit of entertainment. Come to think of it, pretty much all the games I play on my PC are available on my iPad. The game is free to play and offered on pretty much every platform you could think of. I highly recommend it. Honorable mention to Stardew Valley here as well. YouTube and YouTube Studio. And finally, I'm gonna end this list with the YouTube and YouTube Studio app combined. It almost seems too obvious to include, but it would be silly for me to not include them based on how much they get used. My iPad has become the ultimate tool for my productivity and my entertainment as well. And a good portion of both of these come from the YouTube and YouTube Studio app. The YouTube app helps me keep up with my subscriptions and just indulge in some content if I feel like it. And the Studio app does the obvious things like helps me check analytics and respond to the lovely comments. Recently, I've decided to delete these apps off my phone and keep them exclusive to my iPad to keep me from needlessly checking those when I'm out and about throughout the day. The size of the iPad mini, combined with how loud the speaker gets, paired with the smart folio case, really just makes this thing the perfect little YouTube package. And that pretty much sums up my 7 favorite iPad apps. You know, I really enjoy making these tech videos every once in a while because I feel like it sort of keeps me on my toes creatively. So I hope you enjoy them as well. I can say with confidence that when it comes to being productive and doing things to help me stay organized, my iPad mini has really become the most utilized tool for that, even if I get distracted quite often. Anyways, as always, I appreciate the time you spent here and I appreciate you watching. If you did like this video and you do like this type of content, be sure to like and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time.